Good morning, children. Welcome you all once again for the social class. And today, let us have a discussion on social reforms. Now, let us know what do you mean by social reforms. See, social reform is an attempt to reform a society that practices discrimination. It is nothing but, see, in India, we have the discriminations. The discrimination may be based on gender or may be based on caste, okay, and may be based on status, religion. So these type of discriminations we see in our country. Social reforms is, it will attempt or it will try to bring changes or it will try to eradicate these types of discriminations. And social reform is, it is a reform or a change of a society. It will change the society, especially that society which is practicing these types of discriminations. Okay, so this is what social reform is. So social reform means an attempt to reform a society that practices discrimination among its members. And this reformation, it will take us back to the human values. Rather than giving more importance for the other factors, it will give more importance for human values. And the main aim or the basic aim of this social reforms is self-respect. Self-respect is the basic aim of this reformation. And remember, the 19th century has brought lot of changes. In 19th century, the social reformation movement took place, and this reformation, it brought number of changes, it brought number of awakenings during the time. What are the main reasons for the changes? What are the main causes or the reasons for this social reformation? The main reason for the social reformation is, we see that implementation of Western education. Implementation of Western education. This is the main reason for the social reformation, because once when the Western education was introduced, we see a new class of people existed. And this new class of people, they started thinking rationally. See, there were some people who were taking regular Indian type of education, that is a traditional education. And those people want to follow the same social methods. But here this new category of people who got Western education, they started thinking rationally. Their thoughts changed. They went scientifically. Critical thoughts started. And because this new category people who got Western education, they gave more stress for democracy, nationalism, as well as equality. Nationalism and equality. And equality. These were the main 3 points what we see that were being introduced or that were being encouraged by the Western type of education. And due to this Western education, we see people started planning in different manner, they started thinking in different manner, they started analyzing, and due to that analyzation, the method changed. And what the British said, remember, the British principle was, they used to express that, or they want to bring reform in society. And so the British expressed, or they used to say that it is a white man's burden. What is white man's burden? White man's burden means, the British used to say that, the whole world, that is almost all the Eastern countries, are zero. They have nothing. These Eastern countries that has nothing, they are uncivilized. And improving or making civilized of these eastern countries is white man's burden. This is what they told about the theory here, and they believed it is the responsibility of the whites to bring change among Indians and also in other eastern countries. Even today you can see that we eastern countries, or we even Indians, we believe that the western states or the western countries are much better comparing to eastern countries. This is the belief what we have even today. And because of this, they started giving good education, and this western education, along with the education, the British were very much more interested with the economical and political interest. It is nothing but they want to give education for Indians, but they protected their economical as well as the political interest. They don't want to give up these two. And later what happened? Many Indians, they started understanding Indian traditions. Indians started to understand the Indian tradition in new way. Till now, they were following in dark way, but now they started thinking it in a new way. They started planning up with a new way, and a new identity called as Indian was born. And many communities, we see that when they saw that new way, here there was a problem of self-respect. It means especially the self-respect was lagging among women as well as lower class people, what they call it as Shudras. These people had no rights. Women were enjoying no rights. And this new education that was being brought by the British, it gave a new way, and this new way was self-respect for women as well as for the Shudras. This was that was being given by the Western type of education. And now we can see many personalities, they came up. Many personalities raised their voice to fight against or to fight for the favor of women as well as the Shudras. Okay. So this is what we see. See, just we studied what is social reforms, and it changed because of the implementation of Western education, what the British believed about the white man's burden, and what were the problems that were been in India, and how the Western education started to bring changes, and who were those personalities. Remember, among those personalities, we can see Brahmo Samaj, that is Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Remember, when you come to the problem of women, you will see the problems like widow marriage, widow system, you will see sati system, okay, you will see the gender discriminations, caste system, okay, education for Shudras was neglected. You will see so many issues, okay, and almost all these issues were taken away, or almost all these issues were to be solved by some of the personalities like Rajaram Mohan Roy, Jyotirao Phule, Dayananda Saraswati, Swami Vivekananda, Annie Besant. So such personalities came forward and they planned up to bring changes. Now let us see about Rajaram Mohan Roy. See, Rajaram Mohan Roy, whose period is from 1772 and he lived up to 1833. So this is the period of Rajaram Mohan Roy, and Rajaram Mohan Roy started an organization known as Brahmo Samaj. Now what is the main act of Brahmo Samaj? See, before that we should see who was this Rajaram Mohan Roy. Remember, Rajaram Mohan Roy is the one of the social reformer, who is also Rajaram Mohan Roy, who is also called as father of modern Renaissance India. He is also called father of modern Renaissance. and he was an expert in different languages. He was expert in Sanskrit, Persian, Arabic language, as well as he had a very good awareness about Hindu political or philosophical thoughts. He was having a very good knowledge about Christianity, Islam, like this. He had a awareness of all these things. Okay, and he even had the awareness about the languages like Hebrew. He was an expert in a language known as Hebrew, which was actually the language used to write, or which has been prescribed for Bible here. Okay, actually Hebrew and Greek, these were the two languages which were where we see Bible is being found in original form, or it is been originally in that language. And now we came to know who was Rajaram Mohan Roy. He was born, he is called as, and he has awareness of the different books. Now what are his works? When you come to his works of or activities of Rajaram Mohan Roy, we see that he started Atmiya Sabha. Remember, this Atmiya Sabha was started in Calcutta. With some of his friends, he started this Atmiya Sabha, that is in Calcutta. Now, what is the main aim of Atmiya Sabha? The main aim of Atmiya Sabha is eradicating social and religious problems. Social and religious problems in Bengal. This is the main aim of Atmiya Sabha. He started Atmiya Sabha to eradicate social and religious problems that may be in Bengal. And after that, in 1828, he started the main organization, that is Brahmo Samaj. Now, what is the main aim of Brahmo Samaj now? Okay. He wanted to purge Hinduism, means he wanted to purify Hinduism. How can you purify Hinduism? He says there are some problems in the Hindu community or Hindu religion. What were those problems? He says the main issues of Hinduism were, one is caste system. The caste system, that it exists. And the second one is superstitious beliefs. Superstitious beliefs. Remember, caste system and superstitious beliefs. Superstitious belief is nothing but the blind beliefs what we have. He says caste system and blind beliefs or superstitious beliefs are the major issues. Remember, caste system and superstitious beliefs. Caste system and superstitious belief are the main issues of Hindu religion, and the main aim of Brahmo Samaj is to eradicate these two. Eradicate these two and purify Hinduism. This is the aim of Brahmo Samaj, he says. And we see that Rajaram Mohan Roy, he built a new way or a new category in we can say that he built a new category in Hindu religion, we can say. He planned up in such a way that he brought something new, we can say. Now, what were those things changes? We say that he say to rebuild the new Hindu society, he says Upanishads are the must. With the help of Upanishads, you can rebuild Hinduism. Now we came to know what are the main problems with Hinduism according to Rajaram Mohan Roy. He says caste system and superstitious belief. But what he says, you can rebuild Hinduism based on Upanishads. And during that time, he says that one of the blind belief like Sati was not existing. It is not there in Upanishad. And he raised a question saying that if there was a Sati system, then why the mother of Pandavas, Kunti, even after the death of the king Pandu, she did not accept Sati? Why she was still living as a widow life? These types of questions were raised by Rajaram Mohan Roy. And so what he said, let us follow the principles or the system of Upanishads. And he want to bring end. So with the help of, during that time in India, there was William Bentinck. And with the help of William Bentinck, Raja Ram Mohan Roy succeeded in prohibiting sati system. And this sati system, it was in 1829, the prohibition of sati system. And then he asked the people to develop rational thinking, and he started people to think, he made people to think rationally with the help of his papers. He started journalism, and with the help of journalism he started creating awareness among people. And he also published a journal or a book named as Samvada Kaumudi. Samvada Kaumudi. It is a book written by Raja Ram Mohan Roy, which was been in the year, we can say it was being written in a Bengali language. Okay. So this is what Raja Ram Mohan Roy started. So now we studied what Raja Ram Mohan Roy started, which is his book. According to him, what are the issues of Hinduism and how they could be solved, and who is the person that passed an act against sati. Now let us see important aspects of Brahma Samaj. Aspects of Brahma Samaj. Now what are the main aspects of Brahma Samaj is, he believed in monotheism. Monotheism. Monotheism is believe in one God, not to believe in many gods. See, there is a difference in polytheism and monotheism. Monotheism is believe in one God, polytheism is believe in many gods. Okay, but he advocate, or we can say that he encouraged or he advocate to believe in one God, we can say. Second one, he opposed, according to Brahmo Samaj, it opposes meaningless rituals. Meaningless rituals are the rituals which are unnecessary followed in Hinduism. It could be the system of sati, it could be the system of widow, it could be about the rights of women, it could be about the rights of Shudras. All these are unwanted rituals. So he believed that these must be opposed. And the third one, what he says is, every person should live with dignity and no law or ritual should violate this provision. Every person should live with dignity and no law should violate. Means every individual must be given equal rights. He should live a life of dignity in the society, and none of the act or none of the law must go against the dignity of an individual. There is no such law which will affect the individual self-respect or dignity of a person. So that is what it says. And the next one, that is the fourth one, Brahmo Samaj intended to assure equality to women by opposing polygamy. We can say that Brahmo Samaj opposed polygamy. Now what is polygamy? Remember, just now we studied what is monotheism. Monotheism is believe in one God. In the same manner, polytheism means believe in many gods. Like that, we have polygamy and monogamy. Polygamy is marrying many wives. Many wives is called as polygamy. And remember, Hinduism, in the beginning we had this polygamy in Hinduism, but Raja Ram Mohan Roy opposed this. He says, in order to give equal opportunity or equal right to woman, he was against the principle of polygamy. And the next one is, he believed that receive good thoughts from anywhere. It doesn't mean that you should get good thoughts only from an higher class people. Even the lower class, that is even Shudras can also give good thoughts. And he says only Indian education cannot be give good thoughts. Along with the Indian education, even Western education must be given importance. So he believed not only the higher class or not only the Indian education, even the Western, there were many people who were against Western education. So for that we come across two personalities or two category of people. One was the Anglicist and one was the Orientalist. Remember, Orientalists were in the favor of traditional Indian education and Anglicists were in the favor of Western education. So what Rajaram Mohan Roy says, it doesn't mean that only the traditional education can give the best. It is also believed that even the Western education can also give its best. Okay, so what he says, receive good thoughts from anywhere. It could be from any type of education, you are going to get the good thoughts. This is what Rajaram Mohan Roy told in his aspects of Brahmo Samaj. See, apart from all these, he wants Indians to welcome the thinking process of Europeans. Okay. What he says? He says that welcome thinking process of Europeans. Welcome the thinking process of Europeans. Whatever or however the Europeans think, he believed that we should also think in the same manner. So for this what he did, he supported schools and colleges, especially in Calcutta. And it is believed that according to Rabindranath Tagore called Rajaram Mohan Roy as the harbinger of modern India. The harbinger of modern India means he is the founder, or we can say he is the progenitor, or he is the father of modern India. So by this we can say that he was also the prophet of Indian nationalism. It is believed he is the messenger or the prophet of modern Indian nationalism also. So these are some of the thoughts related with Rajaram Mohan Roy and Brahmo Samaj. So this is about Brahmo Samaj. Next is about Young India, or we can say Young Bengal movement. So we will see this Young Bengal movement in the next class. Thank you.